Um, that was an honest response, but I think I said this to you in a private call in that I don't know if you are dishonest or you are just really stupid, but I don't think you're really stupid. So I don't know how deep you want to get with this conversation. But let's give a rundown for your chat and for my chat of what spurred this conversation.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So somebody in my Discord channel tweeted out a screenshot from Russia Today that basically said that Elon Musk was subscribing to Russia Today's Twitter account, right? So
Yeah.
then you respond in my server, even if it's true, it would be epic, LOL.
Oh no, the tech support thing. That's what I was saying. That would be epic.
Okay.
Because they said Elon Musk is White House tech support, so I was like, okay, all right.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that was my bad. Okay. So that's why I said. Yeah, I thought you were responding to the Russia Today thing. So I said the only reason I keep you here is to make sure everyone realizes how little we should take conservative viewpoints seriously.
Oh, I was wondering why you said that. I was like, I thought Elon was like smart and stuff, so I'm like, I don't see why. I didn't really see why.
I do still half stand by that though. I don't think that you honestly engage in almost any conversation, but so I said that, and then you said, "LOL." Okay, what should I say? That Elon Musk is dumb? Is that he's unqualified to work as tech support for the White House? It's not like he works in the tech industry and can build rockets. So I said, maybe it's probably not good for the richest person on Earth who is anti-Semitic, who is potentially getting money from giving money to Russian state media for their coverage, shouldn't be illegally holding all of the information in the Treasury. That was the main crux of that, and you disagreed with him being anti-Semitic, and you disagreed with him.
I disagreed with just throwing claims out, like very heavy-handed claims about someone that's in. Like heavy-handed claims of like how like you actually maybe I should. I won't do that right now. Like the heavy-handed claim of saying that some guy, like he's basically like Trump's right-hand man, and then you're gonna give the claim that he's like with Russia now, and I'm like, you're just using potentially as like I don't like I disagree with just throwing out heavy-handed claims with the only thing that you got is potentially. Like there's no like definitive evidence of that actually happening.
So if the evidence is a screenshot from Russia Today showing that Elon Musk is subscribed to them. So if the evidence is that Russia Today posted a screenshot of showing that Elon Musk is subscribed to them, is that not a reason to say that he's potentially getting or giving money to Russian state media for their coverage?
No, I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Normal.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. It's just that I'm not gonna. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong to assume that, but like, you can assume it. But I can also just assume that this is just like I wouldn't say that. Just fleetingly just flaunt that claim out.
But we do.
All it is just some potential stuff that we have here.
So we do have
like it doesn't look good.
We do have potential evidence, and all that I said is that we have potential evidence. So there was nothing wrong with me saying
that. Well, I guess I just didn't like it, so I was like, okay. I wouldn't say that.
Based? Okay. Okay.
Then you guys say that I engage in bad faith, and I'm like,
yeah, I think you do. Okay, so
was that a bad faith response?
That was an honest response, but I think I said this to you in a private call in that I don't know if you are dishonest or you are just really stupid, but I don't think you're really stupid. That's what I'm trying to determine, as if you're stupid or bad faith. But when we look at this this post that I made, do you disagree Let's go through all of the points that I made. So, richest person on Earth.
To be honest, I think you just got there was a mix. Like you thought I was talking about him being the accusation of him being in the Kremlin.
Sure.
I wasn't thinking that at all. And to be honest, I didn't really see that. I thought you were just talking about him being in tech support. And I'm like, how is he? How is it a bad thing?
The main reason that I invited you on here is to talk about the anti-Semitism, but I want to make sure that we don't disagree on anything else in this post before we get to that.
Okay.
Okay. So we don't disagree that he is the richest person on Earth. That's kind of hard to disagree with. Anti-Semitic we'll come back to. We'll loop around to that.
Yeah, because I don't think he's anti-Semitic.
Yeah. So do we disagree that he is illegally holding all of the information in the Treasury?
Illegally holding information within the what do you mean by that?
That he was given access to a database full of every federal transaction that he should not have access to?
I don't think that's illegal. Isn't he like in some sort of like thing in the president's cabinet or something? Like Trump gave him access to that, right?
The only person who should have access to that database is the Treasury, and they have to follow a legal procedure basically to determine or to say basically this person is allowed to have access to the Treasury, and that takes time to file those documents. I think it's like, hold on, let me make sure. 30 days. So basically, if you're changing who has access to this information, it has to be published by the Treasury 30 days in advance. They did not do that, so Elon Musk having that access would be illegal. Or
is there like charges being filed because what he's doing is he's breaking the rules? So
yeah, he's being
obviously
sued right
you're
now.
not the only person that he's being sued for that.
Yeah. Well, Elon Musk is not being sued for it. I'm sorry. There's a couple unions who formed together and sued the Treasury for allowing Elon Musk to have access to this information.
Oh, okay.
But assuming that they did not follow this system of records notice.
Oh, so they believe that the Treasury did. They gave him access when they shouldn't have.
They believe that they believe that the Treasury gave Elon Musk access to public records that he was, or to classified records that he was not supposed to have access to, and they cite two different laws that they violated by giving him access to it.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait until that's concluded then. But that doesn't mean that what he did is illegal. It isn't proven guilty in that type of situation because he's a defendant in that case.
Okay.
Well, actually, no.
Let's go through what the lawsuit alleges, and if we assume that these are factually true, then we could probably assume that he violated the law. Because
I wouldn't assume that though.
Well, let's go.
You can assume it, but and I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Let's go through it.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna be like. This is just I'll wait until it's litigated. I'm not gonna. They can make the case. I'm just I'm not really interested in having my mind changed on whether he broke the law in that. I'd rather they just do the thing and then I'll get their response and then I'll go with whatever the court goes with.
Okay.
I'm not really too interested in diving into that.
Okay. Well, let's not dive into that again. Okay. So then, by the way, just to address the person in chat, I'm not assuming he's guilty. I read the lawsuit. It seems like they cited all of the laws correctly, and it seems like the facts of the matter align with him being guilty. I didn't just read a lawsuit and then claim he was guilty.
Well, yes, the guy that's attacking is going to make it, is obviously they're going to have a strong case to do it. That doesn't, this needs to go through the courts. We don't know what the defense is yet, unless they had a defense.
So generally, the facts of the matter aren't going to be the thing that's disputed. What's going to be disputed is that there's extra facts that are exculpatory, or the law isn't being interpreted correctly. But if they cite the laws that are alleged to be broken, and they cite facts in which it was broken, we could probably assume that the law was broken. I'm not saying that he should be. I'm not saying he should be charged before the legal process goes through, or that the Treasury should be charged before the legal process goes through. But we can, just in the same way that we do every other thing ever, we can look at evidence and then come to conclusions.
Yeah, I'm just not willing to come to that conclusion. Like, I'm not interested in assuming until the litigation's over.
Okay.
Like, I'm just not interested in that. Okay. I'm not saying that you're wrong to assume that, though, but I could assume that the opposite is true, that actually their interpretation of what they thought was the rules was actually wrong, and we'll see that through court.
But you would have to, in order to say that they're interpreting the law incorrectly, you would have to be familiar with the law. So when we're having an argument, I could say, this happened, this happened, this happened, and the law prohibits it, so this was probably illegal. You can't just say, it's my opinion that it wasn't illegal, without having an understanding of how that law is pursued.
I'm not making that argument. I'm not making that argument.
You're refusing to touch that argument, which is fine, but then we should just move on.
I guess that's the same as not making... Okay.
So when I say that Elon Musk is anti-Semitic, I said, or I sent you an article that said there was a post on X that said Jewish communities have been pushing the same exact dialectical hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. And then Elon Musk responds, "You have said the actual truth. If we are positing that there is a conspiracy amongst Jewish people to spread dialectical hatred against white people, that's probably anti-Semitic, right?"
Yeah. Didn't he... that was last year, November 23rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he apologize for saying that on, like, a Jewish television show in Israel?
Can you send me the apology, or is there any...
There was a video.
Elon Musk apologizes tweet.
I'm not sure if it was that specific tweet that he apologized for, but there was something that he said that he went on the... It was when he was basically deleting the advertisers.
Yeah, he called the post...
He
called the post dumb, but lashed out against advertisers for leaving X because of it.
In that same interview, I think he apologized for it. But then you also have Netanyahu like defending him, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, well,
right.
but
that's way more recent too.
We'll address that, but we should cover this. So if someone replies to a tweet that is unequivocal, we can agree at least that the initial tweet is anti-Semitic.
Agree it looks
right?
anti-Semitic. It looks anti-Semitic.
No, I need to dig a little deeper than that. We can agree that the initial tweet, the Jewish communities pushing dialectical hatred against whites, that is anti-Semitic, right?
Yeah. The original tweet.
Does Elon Musk coming out after advertisers are pulling out of his platform, coming out and saying that that was stupid, does that really like do anything? Like, does that feel authentic to you?
No, that's not what happened though. He wasn't saying that because of he said the advertisers, but that didn't have anything to do with like him being sorry, him not being sorry, or him being sorry about.
The reason that the advertisers were pulling off of X is because of rising anti-Semitism. So it was pretty directly linked.
Yeah, but
so
that doesn't mean he's not sorry for it. He just didn't like the fact that they pulled off advertising. Like, he was against cancel culture.
Okay,
regardless of where it came from.
So he comes out, basically signal boosts a tweet saying that white people are being or that Jewish people are pushing dialectical hatred against whites, and then he comes out and says, "Actually, sorry." Is that does that remove the harm that like do you think that is an actual like genuine apology if he's coming out and saying it right as all of the advertisers are pulling away from his platform due to anti-Semitism?
I mean, we can look up the video right now. Because, like, he said it verbatim.
He said what? So, sorry?
Well, he apologized in general. I just want to know specifically what he said.
Okay.
Elon Musk, rather subtle,
I'm gonna
and
test
slamming
out to see if my chat can actually talk through my mic, and if Discord picks it up.
Okay.
So tell me if you hear it.
All right, we'll do.
for abandoning X after.
Hey.
Yes, I can hear it.
Was it clear or did it cut out?
It sounded pretty clear.
Oh wow, damn! I made it work.
Worse nary. Musk went to a concentration camp with Ben Shapiro.
He endorsed an anti-Semitic post on the platform.
He did. Did you hear that?
Dumbest. So
Yeah, I think it's irrelevant.
social media post he statement do.
I mean, it's relevant
But-
to the fact that you're saying that he's anti-Semitic. Like, why would someone that's anti-Semitic go to a concentration camp with Ben Shapiro, one of the pro-Israel like guy that you can think of when it comes to people on the right? Like, I think that's linked at least a little bit.
It's you could say it's probably like PR, but that doesn't change any of the things that he said.
If you're just gonna
here's
write it
the-
off as PR, then maybe I should just write off the whole, like, oh, he agreed with the tweet. Oh, that's just PR for some of the people that he
Okay,
wanted
well,
for, like,
do you realize
be
that
on, like,
the validity between these two claims is completely different because he's facing backlash for this claim, and you don't get good PR for coming out and saying that Jews are pushing hatred against white people.
Actually, you
don't get
you
good
could
PR
get
for that.
You could get good PR for that. Yeah, for people that don't like Israel. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't like Israel. They'll
I'm
get
sorry.
really good
No.
PR by doing
No.
that.
No, you do not get
Oh,
good
okay.
PR.
Okay.
You do not get good PR from being anti-Semitic. You don't.
Not from people that are Semitic, but like people that are actually anti-Semitic, which there's a lot of them. That's really good PR.
Okay, do you want to
I
come
bet
out?
a lot of
do you-
people from
do you wa-
Gaza like that one.
Okay, do you want to agree with me then that by replying to that tweet saying that this
So-
is truth, that he was trying to appeal to anti-Semites? Because that
So the
that doesn't
validity
make him
between them
sound
is actually
that doesn't make him
close.
sound better.
To someone that's pro-Israel, yes, but for someone that isn't,
This has nothing to do
No.
with being pro-Israel. Like what with that
no,
tweet was he
anti-Semitic. If you're anti-Semitic, it means you're anti-Israel
not
for the
necessarily.
most part. That's what people. Yeah, not necessarily, but when most people talk about this, they're not talking about the specific
Okay, but
technical
this
definition of
is
what
not,
anti-Semitic
this is not tied
is.
to Israel at all.
Being anti-Semitic or not.
This particular claim of anti-Semitism has nothing to do with Israel. It has to do with the conspiracy of Jews, like running the world and pushing hatred towards white people. That has nothing to do with Israel.
Okay,
Okay.
but that has nothing to do with what I was just talking about either. Like, he's Jewish. There's a connection with people being Jewish. What point are you trying to make by saying that there's no connection to Israel?
That any discussion of Israel is completely irrelevant to whether or not he's anti-Semitic.
No, that's not true. I bet if someone is that, it's hard. It's hard to find someone that loves Israel but is also anti-Semitic. It's kind of really. It's very difficult to find that.
It doesn't matter. If he came out and said that Jewish people are pushing hatred to replace white people, that's obviously anti-Semitic. And it doesn't matter if
I
Benjamin
feel like you're
Netanyahu.
being very pedantic with that.
I'm not being pedantic
Like,
at all. I'm holding
Israel,
Elon Musk
Jewish,
to what he came out and
anti-Semitic,
said.
they're very linked.
It doesn't matter. This
That's
is
great that you say
pivoting.
it doesn't matter, but it is linked, and you kept saying it's not linked. It is definitely linked together.
I'm not saying that it is linked or isn't linked. I'm saying it's completely irrelevant to the tweet.
Okay. I'm gonna find the video of
This was the quote. I mean,
yeah.
look, I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that post. It was foolish of me. And of the 30,000, it might literally be the worst and dumbest post I've ever made. And I've tried my best to clarify 6 way from Sunday. But, you know, at least I think it'll be more obvious in the fact that I'm far from being anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I want to see him say it though.
Okay. So, do you think a video of him saying, "I'm not anti-Semitic," is going to somehow wash away the fact that he came out and said that Jewish people are pushing hatred against white people?
It doesn't wash it away, but him being sorry for the specific thing that he said that people are criticizing him definitely makes it seem like he's actually like legitimately trying to like amend from his bad actions or bad tweets.
Why do you think he said that tweet was truth? Because I see very little plausible deniability.
Do you think people
in
can't make
signal boosting
mistakes
that.
and go back on some of the mistakes? Is that not possible?
It's possible to do it's possible to make a mistake. But
so when he says that he's sorry, you think
wait,
he's
hold on.
lying? He's more likely he's lying
Yes.
about it?
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'll tell you why.
All right. I
Where's
don't believe
Harry?
that.
Because do
Aren't
you
Jews
think
white BTW?
aren't Jews white? So a typical Nazi will say no. That's the whole point. But okay. Why do you think he posted that?
Say that again?
Why do you think he posted that tweet? Do you think he like
Because he agreed.
slipped,
He
or-
thought what the original. He liked the tweet and said this is the actual truth because he thought this was the actual truth.
Okay.
But I guess
So-
that came off anti-Semitic.
Oh, it
That's-
didn't come
I
off
don't think
anti-Semitic. It is like the root of anti-Semitism. So, is the claim that he
Why would
was
he
anti-Semitic
apologize
a
for
year
it if
ago?
he was 100%? Say it again?
Is the claim that he was anti-Semitic a year ago?
No. I'm saying he probably made a mistake by saying that. But I don't think when he said this is the actual truth
But
as
why
if
do you
like,
think
oh, I
he's-
agree with this. I think he said this is the actual truth because like it's the truth.
So the reason that I'm pushing back against this is that when you like mistakenly make a tweet like that, it's usually because you were joking and you were a little too edgy, or you know,
No, I don't
you
think he was
misread the
joking.
tweet or something like that. You don't.
I think he
you
thought.
don't misread
think-
this. This tweet that he said was truth
I'm not
is
saying he
absolutely
misread it.
hyper clear, and it is the root of almost all anti-Semitism. Like if I came out and
saying
tweeted,
Where's
he
Neri?
mis-
Fair enough. Semantics about semetics. Terrible joke that sauce.
we agree that it's not a joke.
I'm gonna.
Okay. So
No, but I'm not saying he's like I'm not saying he. What did you say? Like I'm not. You're basically making a claim that I didn't make, and you're fighting against it.
what I'm saying is that it's hyper clear to I think everybody that in order to signal
Yes.
boost a tweet like this, you have to be
I
anti-Semitic.
don't disagree.
That's the whole point.
No, you don't have to be anti-Semitic by saying
So
this.
if I came
He could
out,
say an anti-Semitic thing. Wait, do you think if anyone makes anything that's slightly anti-Semitic to anything, it
Wow.
means that they're anti-Semitic
amazing
or
broadband.
like
No, I don't say that anybody who says anything slightly anti-Semitic is anti-Semitic. I said that if you
Okay.
are pushing forward the core conspiracy of anti-Semitism, you're probably anti-Semitic. So if you're saying that Jews run the world and they're pushing
You think he
dialectical
knows-
hatred against white people, then you're probably anti-Semitic.
him pointing out that that's the truth doesn't make him say. Doesn't mean that he's anti-Semitic.
Does
Like
he
you can
think
point
that
out
pushing-
evil things
does
that
he
happen
think-
in the world
does
and
he
say
think-
this is the actual truth and not actually
Does he
that's
think
the
that
truth.
pushing dialectical hatred against white people is good? Is that
When did he
is
say
that
that?
the
He said
idea?
it's the actual truth.
Jewish communities have been pushing the same exact dialectical hatred against whites that they claim to want to stop they want people to stop using against them. So
Is that what he said?
He responded to that and said, "This is actual truth."
Yeah, he's saying this is the actual truth. He's not saying
Right.
this is what he believes.
Can you explain to me the difference?
The difference is that he thinks that what this guy is saying is probably what's going on in the world, and he also knows that this is a very controversial thing. So he's like,
But he
"Yeah,
doesn't
this is the
believe it?
actual truth." Yeah.
Can you not believe something that is true?
Oh wait, you're using believe in a different. Okay. Yes, he does believe it. Yes, he does believe that this is something that exists. Yes.
Okay. Do you
It doesn't
agree
mean
that
that he supports
believing
this.
Do you agree that believing that Jews are pushing hatred against white people is probably anti-Semitic?
No, just
Why?
because you believe
Wait,
something is true doesn't mean that you agree with that.
Okay. So when we define anti-Semitism, we're talking about like a hatred of Jewish people, or like a conspiracy that Jews run the world, right? Like that's probably anti-Semitic.
You think someone that's anti-Semitic would apologize
Worse,
for
Neri.
something that he said
Doesn't he mean
anti-Semitic?
the ADL
After
calling people
all-
Nazi quite easily?
After all of the advertisers leaving his platform, him coming out and saying sorry for this tweet is not very convincing to me.
All right, that's okay. That's it's convincing to me. Let's just say that we could just disagree on that.
Okay. If
I want to find the video because like it makes it more clear instead of just
okay.
reading a quote. Oh, actually, I think I made a video on this a long time ago because I remember this.
So, okay. Do you think... Okay. So, in order to be anti-Semitic, you're probably saying that you don't like what the Jews are doing. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Okay. So, if he's saying that Jews are pushing hatred against white people, do you think he agrees that that's bad? Or do you think he thinks it's good that Jews are pushing hatred against white people?
When he says that this is the actual truth, I think he thinks that this is like this is a true thing.
Okay.
This is something
Do you
that
think
exists.
he thinks that's good or bad?
That doesn't show what his tweet doesn't clearly say if something is good or bad.
Do you think Elon Musk is coming out and saying that Jews pushing dialectical hatred against whites is good?
He doesn't necessarily say it's good or bad.
The hyper clear answer is obviously not. He's obviously saying that this is true because that is bad. Because obviously no one is going to think that Jews pushing hatred against white people is good. No one's ever going to think that, obviously. So if he's signal boosting this...
if you're anti-Semitic, then that's not obviously.
You're confused. If I tweet out that Jewish communities are pushing hatred against white people, I'm probably tweeting that out because it's bad. If I'm calling that true, it's probably because I think that that's a bad thing that Jews are doing, right?
Probably.
Okay, so if Elon Musk is coming out and saying that it is true that Jews are pushing hatred against white people, it's probably safe to assume that he thinks it's bad, right?
Well, if he said that, then yeah. But he said this is the actual truth.
And you think he was just making that completely morally neutrally, that it's just true that Jewish people are pushing hatred against whites, and I'm not going to make a comment on that?
Probably. I would assume that. But then it's also backed up for the fact that he ended up apologizing for that anyways later on, so...
Yeah, after all of the advertisers were leaving his platform.
Yeah, and then he told them to go F themselves because he wanted them back.
Mm-hmm. Because they were leaving because he tweeted something anti-Semitic that you are simultaneously saying that he apologized for it being anti-Semitic, but it actually wasn't anti-Semitic.
Dang, talking and looking something up is so difficult to do. I found the video though. But I'm just gonna find the part where he apologizes.
Yeah, go ahead. This is perhaps the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. That he just said that like completely neutrally. He's like, "Oh yeah, you know."
Wait, you said you had the quote for it, right?
Yeah.
What was the words in his quote? Could you read that out for me again?
I mean, look, I'm sorry for that post. It was foolish of me. Of the 30,000, it might literally be the worst and dumbest post I've ever done. And I've tried my best to clarify 6 ways to Sunday, but, you know, at least I think it'll be obvious that fact in that, or I think it'll be obvious that, in fact, I'm far from being anti-Semitic. I'm, in fact, philo-Semitic. And he only apologized after all of the advertisers were leaving his platform because of anti-Semitism.
Yeah, but you're implying that he only apologized just so he can have the advertisers come back, which is completely negated for the fact that he said, "Go F yourselves."
That's what
that's not convincing advertisers to come back.
That's what I call Occam's razor. The simplest answer is probably the answer. If he's coming out and apologizing only after all of the advertisers are leaving his platform, it's probably because all of the advertisers are leaving his platform.
We can use Occam razor for things that aren't like instead of conspiracy theorying, but like we're not conspiracy theorying. Like literally in the same exact video that he apologized, he told the same advertisers to go F themselves.
That has
like those are two conflicting things that happened exactly in the exact same video.
How is that conflicting?
Like, because no, it's a conflicting narrative. Like you're saying, oh, he's only saying sorry because he wants advertisers, but then he literally tells
he doesn't need the money. He is money.
Yeah, okay. But then he needs So
him coming out and apologizing for anti-Semitism secures future advertisers. It's possible that he doesn't give a fuck about the advertisers that left, but he wants to make sure that X doesn't go under as a platform because it's run by a Nazi. Nothing about that is contradictory at all.
No, the narrative that he only wants.
No, that is the narrative.
The advertisers.
Okay,
so now you've clarified.
The narrative, and
you said
none of that is contradictory.
Advertisers. Okay.
None of that is contradictory.
Well, now you gave the caveat of like, oh, he wants it for future advertisers, not for the other ones.
Obviously.
Okay, that makes more sense. It would have been better if you said it that way the first time, though.
No, I said he's coming out for PR. Like I said at the very beginning that he was apologizing for PR. And he was only apologizing after the advertisers left his platform, which is true.
All right, I found the video. Or the part.
Someone said Occam's... Hold on. Someone said Occam's razor. OMG. Yeah, he thinks January 6th was an insurrection. It clearly was. Hyper clearly was.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can. Give me 1 second.
Oh man, I think I might overload my my computer. Oh, that's great. Shit.
All right, it's up on stream.
Of the 30,000, it might be literally the worst and dumbest post that I've ever done. And I try my...
I'll go back a little bit.
People, why are they after me? But all of that. Yeah, all of that.
His laugh is weird.
I mean, look, I'm sorry for that tweet or post. It was foolish of me. Of the 30,000, it might be literally the worst and dumbest post that I've ever done. And I try my best to clarify 6 ways to Sunday. But you know, at least I think over time it will be obvious that, in fact, far from being anti-Semitic, I'm in fact philo-Semitic, and all the evidence in my track record would support that.
This, though, there are people who say crazy things on X, as you know. Maybe you think they're crazy, maybe they're not.
The aspiration for X is to be the global town square. Now, if you were to walk down to, let's say, Times Square,
right?
Do you occasionally hear people saying crazy things?
Yes, but they're not. But they don't have the megaphone, right? And that's the conundrum.
No,
right? They can only say it to the 50 or 100 people that are standing there in Times Square.
They don't have a megaphone. I mean, look, the joke I used to make about old Twitter was it was like giving everyone in the psych ward a megaphone. You know, I'm aware that things can get promoted that are negative beyond the sort of circle of somebody simply screaming crazy things in Times Square, which happens all the time. You know, so
What does this prove, by the way?
It's actually
This
it's pretty
proves
rare
absolutely
for
nothing.
something, frankly, that is hateful to be promoted. It's not that it never happens, but it's fairly rare. I mean, I would encourage people to look at, for those that use the system, when you look at the sort of the feed that you receive, how often is it hateful, and over time has it gotten
absolutely
more
nothing.
or less hateful? And I would say that if you look at the X platform today versus a year ago, I think it is actually much better. I mean, what is your personal experience?
Are you surprised?
I'm just curious. You use this.
I use the platform religiously. I
So you would
admit to
notice.
being an addict,
You would
and I
notice.
use it for
So
you.
what is
and
this showing?
I will say,
I mean, it's showing that he, well, first off, he's talking to, isn't this is like in, isn't this in Israel? Yeah, I think this is in Israel, and he's talking to someone that's within Israel.
Okay.
No, it's the New York Times, but this guy's Jewish.
Where's
That's
Harry?
the thing.
A nasty wouldn't have apologized.
Of course. He can't be anti-Semitic. He's talking to a Jewish person.
And he apologized. Yeah, that's good enough for me. And his track record before, and Netanyahu also like supported him and defended him.
Okay, I'm gonna
That's
ask.
more recent.
I'm gonna ask the same question that I've been asking. What do you think was going through his head when he said
Oh
that
my
tweet?
god! Why do you keep giving me the what do you think he's going? No one knows what's going through
Because
his head.
we can't possibly. We
Like,
can't
why are we
possibly
gonna
call
speculate
anybody.
what's going? What's? Why do we need to speculate? Oh, what's going through his head?
The
Let's
answer
like do some
is-
sort of conspiracy.
the
I'm like,
answer
what?
is- the
You
answer
can believe
is-
whatever you want.
The answer as to why I keep asking that question is because there's no plausible deniability in signal boosting a tweet like this.
Okay.
Like if
Where's Harry? We are not mind readers.
If I come out and I say
Yeah.
that black people are only interested in killing white people, and then I come out and apologize for it, that doesn't make it not racist.
Yeah, but he didn't say that. He just said
Yes,
that.
sorry. Yes,
No,
he said.
no, here's the
what
perfect
he said.
analogy.
What he said is that
someone
Jewish
said-
people are pushing from the top down hatred against white people. That's
No, that's not what he
obviously-
said. He said
let's retweet
this
it.
is
let's,
the actual
let's
truth.
Reread it. Let's reread it. He said
All right.
Jewish communities have been pushing the same exact kind of dialectical hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. Musk responds, "You have said the actual truth."
Yeah, that's him saying this is the actual truth. Yeah.
Right. 2, the claim that Jews are pushing dialectical hatred down to white people.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he apologized
Harry?
for it.
The
So if
ADL
somebody-
have been calling X a nasty platform.
X is absolutely a nasty platform, as evidenced by the person that owns it saying anti-Semitic shit, obviously. So if I came out and I tweeted to somebody
And then
saying that
apologized
black
for it.
people,
I keep forgetting that part though.
it doesn't matter. If I came out and
Oh,
said,
it doesn't matter if he apologizes.
Yeah,
Oh,
if I
he
came out-
supported a tweet. That's the whole
if I
thing,
came
guys.
out, if I
That's
came
it.
out, if I came out and saw a post saying that black people are only interested in harming white communities, and then I reply to that, this is the actual truth. Even if I come out after and I say, "Oh, I'm sorry for saying that," after all of the people unfollow me, that
Yeah,
I'm
that
still
doesn't mean
racist.
you're supporting it.
That doesn't mean I'm supporting it. It absolutely does. Obviously.
So wait,
if I say
wait.
something is true,
You
that
said-
means that I
well-
agree that it's yeah, obviously.
Where's Neri? Dilbert.
Dilbert? Oh, deliberate, not Dilbert.
If he is saying
Give me that analogy. Give me that black white thing analogy again.
If I see a post saying that black people are interested in harming white communities, and then
You
I
say
reply
this is
to
the
that,
actual
this
truth.
is the actual truth.
Where's
And
Neri?
then after everybody
cartoon.
unfollows me, I come out and say, "Hey, yeah, that was a bad post." I'm still racist, obviously.
Nah, I think someone that really truly believes that and is anti-Semitic and racist wouldn't apologize, because they would probably think what they said was actually good, and there's no need for them to apologize for that type of a statement.
Do you
Obviously,
think
I think
everybody-
he should have
Do you
apologized.
think everybody who
But, like,
apologizes for saying something is genuine in that apology?
I think a lot of people that are anti-Semitic were probably really disappointed when Elon Musk apologized for that statement.
That is not the question I asked even a little bit. Do you think that people?
No, but I think that's a true statement. What I just said there, though.
Sure, maybe. Do you think people, when they apologize for something, are always doing it genuinely?
Not always.
Okay.
I think in this instance that it's genuine with what here.
Okay.
I think Elon was genuine.
So this conversation is going nowhere. This is why I call you bad faith. Let me just go down. So there's no other reason for anybody to ever tweet out that Jewish communities are pushing dialectical hatred against white people.
I never said that, and you're saying that I'm bad faith. I never said that. You're calling me bad faith. Okay.
Just to be clear, there's no justification for that to ever happen.
Do you think humans cannot ever make a mistake?
Okay, you're addressing the same thing. A mistake is misreading the tweet. There's nothing to misread here. He intentionally signal boosted somebody saying that Jews were pushing dialectical hatred against white people.
I didn't say he made a mistake, though.
Unless he slipped all of these times saying you have said the actual truth, unless he slipped on all of those keys and then accidentally slipped on the send button, then maybe. But there's no misreading this. He obviously tweeted this out because he obviously thinks that Jews are pushing hatred against white people, and he obviously thinks that's bad, and that's why he tweeted it out. And then all of the advertisers were leaving his platform, and then he came out and apologized to save his PR. That's hyper clear. I don't know why you need to hold so much water for these people, but
PR. I didn't think he did that to save his PR, because if he were to do that to save his PR, he wouldn't have done something that went opposite to saving his PR by telling them to go F themselves. I don't see how telling them to go F themselves is saving his PR at all.
Telling old advertisers to go fuck yourself is completely different.
Yeah, because he definitely specified old advertisers. Yeah.
Telling all of the advertisers No, he said that he was addressing the advertisers that pulled off of X. That means old advertisers. Advertisers that
old advertisers.
No, I'm not saying that it's old advertisers. Advertisers that pulled out of X are old advertisers. That means they are not advertisers anymore.
Yeah, and any new ones that's gonna come in and then see this and then leave. Like, you still call them old advertisers even though they came in, saw this controversy, and then left? So you don't think that happens? That's what I'm saying. It's not just old advertisers.
This is completely irrelevant.
It's advertisers.
This is completely irrelevant. This is completely irrelevant. The point
You're the one that brought it up.
No, what I brought up is that old advertisers were leaving X. He told them to go fuck themselves, but he wanted to save face for new advertisers. That's why he came out and wanted to dispel the notion that he's anti-Semitic, even though there's no other alternative to signal boost a tweet like this. So my question is, like, what? That's why I keep asking. What do you think was going through his head when he said that this was true?
I'm not going to speculate.
Threatening to quit.
I'm not going to speculate what's going through his head. Like, you guys think about
what could even theoretically be going through his head when he says that a claim like this is true?
Anything could be going through his head. Theoretically, anything.
Okay. So when let's say Elon picks up his phone, he sees a claim saying that Jewish people are pushing hatred against white people. Give me one incentive for him to say that that's true that isn't anti-Semitic.
It's anti-Semitic to say, but, like, it's not anti-Semitic to say that something is a true thing that's going on in the world.
If he believes that this is a true thing going on, do you think he's probably anti-Semitic?
Well, yes, he thinks that this is something that's going on, so he pointed it out. That doesn't mean he's necessarily anti-Semitic.
If he believes that this is true,
I think
if he believes this is true, is he anti-Semitic?
Or the thing that he
If he believes this is true, is he anti-Semitic?
Where's Neri? I think the ADL was attacking X at this time, driving an advertisement off X.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over your TTS.
I think the ADL was attacking X at the time of driving advertisers off X.
ADL has absolutely nothing to do with this. Give me one incentive.
What is the ADL?
The Anti-Defamation League. It called out Elon Musk for being anti-Semitic, and then he says that it's spewing hatred against X. It's stupid. So, again, give me one incentive. Sorry, no, we already passed that. Do you think if he believes that Jews are pushing dialectical hatred against white people, that is anti-Semitic?
That's an anti-Semitic thing to say.
If he believes it, do you think he's probably anti-Semitic?
If he believes it, then yes. I don't think he believes it, though.
even though he said that it was true. He doesn't believe it, even though he came out and said this is the actual truth.
Believes it. He thinks it's something that exists.
Wise guy, do you often believe things that you don't think are true? Like, do you ever just like see a lie? Do you ever just see a lie and you're like, oh man, I think that's true?
Well, you don't. If you already
just see a lie, if you already
presume that it's. If you already know that it's a lie, then why would you believe it? That's just that's begging the question right now.
I agree. So if he believes that it is true that Jews are pushing hatred against white people, that person is probably anti-Semitic.
If he believes it, but I don't think he does.
And he came out and said that it was true.
He said it was true. That doesn't mean that he believes it.
What does believe mean? How are you using the word believe?
How are you using the word believe?
That if you think something is true, that you believe it.
Well, yeah, he believes that it's true. That's why he said it was true.
Okay.
That doesn't mean he believes in the overall narrative that what they're saying is correct.
Mercenary. If you knew it was true, why apologize?
I'm
Steelman it.
Okay. Say what you said again. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're just gonna say I'm bad?
No, I'm starting to lean towards the stupid thing. Say what you said again.
Okay. You're gonna have to go through that logic train for me to say that again.
Okay.
I don't think just because he said he thinks that what that is true doesn't necessarily mean that he believes that this is correct, and this is something that's okay to say.
What's the difference between true and correct?
No, they're basically the same thing.
Okay. So, if he says that something is true, he probably believes that it's correct.
No, I said correct thing to say or correct thing to believe.
He thinks it's true, but it's wrong to believe it?
Yeah. Because he apologized afterwards, so obviously he thought that was wrong. To believe that.
Okay.
What, is that false?
No, it's so stupid. The fact that anybody would come out and say...
Fact that, it's not wrong, it's stupid.
No, it's wrong and stupid. The fact that anybody would say that this is true, but it's wrong to think it, is stupid.
Well, yeah.
No one would ever say that.
People, it's true that races exist, but it's wrong to think that to think that you're racist. To be a racist, it's wrong to do that.
If someone thought that it was true that black people are worse than white people, then they would be racist. Just like if someone thinks that Jewish communities are pushing hatred against white people, they probably are anti-Semitic.
Yeah, but like that's only if he actually believes that.
What do you mean believe? He said it was true.
Yeah, he said it was true, or he said that this is the actual truth. But then he apologized because then he was like, "All right, that came off a bit like weird." So people misinterpreted what he was trying to say.
What other interpretation could there be?
I mean, didn't he just like say that?
What else could Jewish communities have been pushing the same exact kind of dialectical hatred against whites they claim to want people to stop using against them? What else could that possibly mean?
I mean, we can just get his like have him say it.
Okay, let's hear him say it. I'd love an explanation for that tweet.
Oh.
This is...
Oh, wait, so there was a clarifying tweet. I guess we don't need to talk about that, though.
What's the where's it at? Let's see it.
All right, let's find it.
Wait, did you just read in an article that there was a clarifying tweet and then just say it?
No, like Elon literally said in the video that he clarified immediately right after that. So I'm assuming there was a clarifying tweet.
Let's see it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. It's so long ago.
This is the smartest
Elon Musk's anti-Semitic
that the right
tweet.
has to offer, by the way. You could say that there's no value in this, but if there's no value in this conversation, there's no value in the right
Worse,
at
Neri.
all.
Wise guy sounds good faith to me. Musk made a mistake and owned it. Though I am biased. Winky face.
I appreciate that.
To be clear, what we're saying right now is that there was a Jewish conspiracy theory, and Musk said it was true, but he didn't believe it. And that's the good faith engagement that we have with this topic.
And then he said that he was. You keep saying good faith, like you say, oh, this is good faith, and then like completely ignore the fact that I also said that he apologized for this, but I guess that doesn't matter, right?
Yes, because he came.
We're all just being good faith here.
The only reason he came out and apologized was because all of the advertisers were pulling out of his fucking company. Obviously,
I think like you're the only person here calling the other person good faith, which just all I hear is just projection. Like every time when you guys say, "Oh, I'm just this," "Oh, I'm just that," I'm like, yeah, I'm not the one that like. Why is that the first thing that comes to you guys' head?
Not all people
like,
are
oh,
the
he's
same.
obviously just being bad faith. Okay.
Because I in my heart want to think that no one can be this stupid.
Yeah. And when you don't have anything else to say, you just call them stupid.
I mean, listen, I feel like I've made my point very hyper clear. The fact that your best argument against me is that he came out and said that he came out
argument.
Okay. He came out and said that this anti-Jewish conspiracy theory was true, but he didn't actually believe it. That was your best counter argument against me. So I think I've
my best counter. No, see, now you're engaging in bad faith again. You're engaging in bad faith. That's not my best counter argument. My best counter argument is that he apologized afterwards, literally in the video. That's my best counter. But you're like, oh, that's irrelevant. Oh, irrelevant.
Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, and then you're saying I'm engaging
irrelevant?
In bad faith. That's retarded. That's actually retarded.
The reason that is irrelevant is because there's no world where you
because
can
it makes
retweet that.
It makes you look stupid.
It's because there's no world that you can tweet that and not be anti-Semitic.
Okay, and then he apologized.
So he knew exactly what he was doing, and he apologized conveniently right when all of the advertisers were pulling out of his social media company.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's great. And then he apologized for it.
Do you think if Destiny came out and apologized for the revenge porn stuff, you should just like
now
say
we
that
need
he's
to pivot.
probably not a sex
now we need to pivot. Let's go. We're pivoting now. Oh, but I'm in bad faith. Okay.
It's a hypothetical.
Yeah, sure.
It's a hypothetical.
It's a pivot.
It's a hypothetical.
Wait, what was the Destiny thing?
Do you think if Destiny came out and apologized, that would make him not a sex pest?
Otherwise,
if you were to apologize for that?
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, listen, what I did was wrong." Do you think that makes him not a sex pest?
Not immediately.
The answer is obviously no, because you don't accidentally be a sex pest. In the same way that you don't slip up and tweet out a giant fucking anti-Jewish conspiracy theory. That's not an accident.
He's okay. All right. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe.
Okay.
But then he apologized for it, so it completely just negates everything.
Yeah, Destiny apologized for sending the nudes out too.
Yeah, maybe he meant it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, let me dig into his head to see what he actually meant." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's great." Like that's just conspiracy theories. Like, I don't really care for that engagement. Do I really need to?
No. Is there any other thing you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, I did. I took your giant article thing that you made, and then I threw it into Pixarly, and I asked it to give me a summation of it. You realize
there's a summary the amount of but like
article. I just threw I wanted to dig into it. So like I gave it all the information, then I asked it a bunch of questions, and it only pulled information from that. And I was like, oh snap. But then it gave the thing that I'll talk about it more. Like it's really good. It's compelling. But like when I asked it, does this give like a fair and reasonable take for both sides? And it said no. And I was like, oh, okay.
Even
so
though
at the end of it, I was
addressed,
like
all of the common talking points from the right in the article as well.
yeah, it actually said literally you dismissing them as common talking points was the fact that it was biased for one side instead of actually taking anything what the other side had seriously. It just dismisses it.
Well,
I need to
the
find
right
it.
does not deserve to be taken seriously right now. The only reason that they deserve to be taken seriously
that's
is
not
because Donald
convincing.
Trump heads the government.
Yeah, but that's not convincing. That's not changing anyone's mind. That's
I don't
just
want to be convincing.
making
I
your
want to be
bubble
right.
bigger. Yeah, that's good. That's great. Who else wasn't there? What's his face? Aristotle? Aristotle was right, but then he ended up getting killed because everyone called him a witch. But he was right. He was right. That's great.
Okay.
Just being right doesn't really mean much. That's my point. Like it's fine to be right. It makes you feel good, but like
yeah, Aristotle is famously
if you're not
looked down
convincing,
upon.
you might actually get killed. People call you a witch. Because I think he was Aristotle was like basically saying, no, we're not the center of the universe. We're actually the sun is the center of the universe, and the whole religious thing in the back then was like, we can't. That can't be. That's blasphemous.
And now everyone believes that, right?
Yeah, basically,
Okay, well,
for the
perfect.
most part.
Listen, if I'm Aristotle and everyone starts believing correct stuff a generation after I'm gone, then that's fine.
Not a generation. That was like, where was Aristotle? Like that was like what? Like thousands of years ago, or just hundreds of years ago? I'm gonna say it's just hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
Like that was like in the 1800s, I think, or 1716. No, I don't know. It was a really long time.
Okay.
Very long time.
Well, is there anything else?
No, that was it.
All right. Well, I'm glad I think I got a good view of you now. I don't think you're dishonest anymore.
No, I'm just stupid, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna say?
I think so. Yeah. But
yeah, but then I'm asking you, what do you mean by like, how am I stupid?
I don't think I don't think that I can answer that in a way that you would understand. I think you coming out and saying that believing something and knowing something to be true is different, or that something being true and something being correct is different. I think I don't even know.
No,
how to
think
begin to engage with something like that.
No,
listen,
I think Elon Musk saying that, like, yeah, he believed it, but then he repented by saying that. So there you go.
Repented. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good conversation.
He said that he was sorry.
I'll see you.
All right. Oh, I have to leave.
Yeah. I have to snoop a little. I have to see. We're gonna check it out real quick. Hold on.
Lying
Okay.
all the time. I'm like, bro, I'm not. Like, these guys are just very arrogant when it comes to their worldview.
I don't think it would have done anything still.
Actually, true. Actually.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything now
Stupid game anymore?
That
Oh wait, is he
like,
just now moving on?
maybe
Oh,
should
no,
have brought
never
that
mind.
up at a particular point.
No, my main goal was just to really hold him to the tweet and the mind state or the mindset that someone would have to make that tweet, and I think that I did that semi-successfully. Whenever somebody, gets upset that I'm holding their feet to the fire on something, I know that I'm doing a good job. So, based.
Okay. So I don't necessarily disagree with the overall point of that being anti-Semitic. Like, it's an anti-Semitic thing to do, and if he believed it, then yeah, then that makes him. Well, that doesn't necessarily make him believing
He almost
one
conceded
tweet,
the whole
that doesn't
point.
make him anti-Semitic. That just shows.
He almost conceded the whole point. He was like, "Oh shit, wait, that was the whole argument." Okay, I'm gonna go pee, and then we're gonna go on TikTok.